So Ugin is a fun card, but it's also like the bane of my existence. So I decided that Ugin would look better if he became an octopus instead. All right, so the way that we're going to go about making Ugin an octopus is a few different options or ideas that I decided to go about. So first off is using Sarkin the Masterless to turn all of our planeswalkers into dragons, which then dragons can be mutated on and turned into octopus. I've done this in the past before, and it's kind of funky the way that it works. And so I wanted to try out another option of turning it into a dragon and then spark doubling it, and then turning it into an octopus, which should work out to where we get to create an Ugin, although this will create a creature, not necessarily a planeswalker. I'm really just going to be experimenting here and seeing how this does. We also just threw in Oko, Thief of Crowns, because it also would be really satisfying to turn our octopus Ugin into just an elk, because you can. So obviously we're not going to be able to play this one up against anyone here. I decided to kind of take a break from my typical type of videos and just do something fun, trying to break magic, try to see what would happen with this, because we're going to turn it into a land, turn it into an octopus, a dragon, which it's a spirit dragon, but it's going to become a dragon, as its type is just an Ugin, not a dragon, and then an illusion dragon, and then also octopus, elk, forest, dragon, planeswalker, and maybe a Fibblethip. We'll see. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, we actually have all of our pieces, so sweet. Keeping this. Now we have to not die to Sparky, which is actually going to be a little bit more difficult than I expect. By the way, if you guys want to help out the channel in any way, check out mtg Assistant down in the description below. There's a link. It's free for you, and it puts all of your card lists here. You can have your sideboard. It also shows your opponent's deck as well. Everything that you would normally have, that you would write down and everything. Anyway, this is just easy and convenient for you to have here. All right, keep Fibblethip. We just need to draw into our lands and get some bodies on the battlefield so we don't die to Sparky. All right, so we have Oko, we have Ugin, we have Sarkin, and we're gonna turn them all into dragons real quick. So we've seen this before. This isn't anything new, although that's different. Apparently, if you use these different card arts, then it looks really funky when you turn them into dragons. So you're still able to use planeswalker abilities as their dragons as well. And so that's really fine. I guess we can also tap these for green mana. And now we're also going to play Spark Double onto the Ugin Spirit Dragon. All right, so it just creates a copy of the Planeswalker itself, I guess, which does make sense. Although I want to try it out once it's turned into an octopus to see if it still does the same thing. Because once it's an octopus, it should create a copy of the octopus with all the text onto it. So we're going to try to find that combo again. And we might just turn this one now into an elk. All right, so turning our Ugin into an elk. Dear. Now it doesn't have any abilities, of course, and that's fine. No attacks, pass the turn. All right, so we do have the ability to turn it into a shark, which is pretty nice as well. So not an octopus, but we came to make Ugin an octopus. But a shark beast is also not a terrible way to go. So we're actually going to use a -10 here to try to dig through and find octopus. So I believe that the elk will actually legend rule this other Ugin, which is kind of funky. Yeah, so we aren't able to keep 2 Ugins on the battlefield. So the elk Ugin's gotta go. So we're gonna keep this one here instead. Yes, all right, so we got the octopus. And so here we go. We tick up with Sarkin the Masterless. We have a bunch of Ugins, which I think we're gonna use the fun art to actually make this work instead. So let's go ahead with Sea Dasher Octopus onto, I guess, the non-legendary one. So we're gonna actually use the Spark Double version. So go ahead and turn that one into Octopus. Actually, if we Spark Double now, how does this work? All right, so Spark Double now onto the Sea Dasher Octopus. So we do have the abilities. All right, so we now have a full-on octopus that has all of Ugin's abilities. Oh, yes. All right, so that does it. All right, so now the Spark Double is um, is a Sea Dasher Octopus with 2 loyalty right now. Okay, because it doesn't enter with any loyalty. We get to just use the ability to tick up for loyalty. So now we have +2 loyalty. We can -X. We can do all the different abilities here with the Ugin, the same that you would have with all of these. So let's go ahead and just have a little bit of fun here, since we can. All right, we're going to mutate the other Ugin into a pouncing shore shark as well. Just because, you know, it's what you do. Although I probably should show you guys what it looks like whenever you put it underneath it. If you put it underneath it, it's not a creature anymore, so it goes back to the side. But whenever you bring it back out, or it's kind of funky. It does have 4/4. We're going to try to show that off as well.
I will destroy if I must.
All right, ticking up with each one of our Ugins here. And so we did get to change the name of Ugin to Sea Dasher Octopus or Pouncing Shore Shark, because that's one of the nice things. So it changes the name, which then makes it no longer legendary, which basically makes the same type of effect as like the Spark Double. And so Sark and the Masterless with Ugin, with Sea Dasher Octopus type stuff, it gets pretty fun. All right, tick down with Ugin. So we do find another mutate person to use. So first off, tick up with Sarkin.
I will call the dragons.
Here's the new Ugin. So we're going to mutate, turn it into a shark here. And actually, we're going to put it underneath this time. So put it underneath. Ugin still stays out. So now it just has the ability of that added onto the text. But I want to see what it's like when we Spark Double onto that one now. So does this have extra text onto it? So it has the mutate. So if we ever mutate this Ugin again, it does have the ability on there of bouncing other creatures. So if we turn it into a dragon on the next turn and mutate it again, we'd be able to have that effect. So just doing janky things, you know. Let's go ahead and make another copy of Octopus Ugins. Oh man, this is great. And now we will go ahead and end our opponent with a big old swing with a bunch of Ugins. Oh, that's satisfying. Nice job. All right, well, I feel better about myself. I have learned what happens when Ugin becomes an octopus or a shark, yeah, that's pretty much all this was about. Was just trying to find out, you know, what would happen. And if you guys like this kind of content, if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and also leave down in the comments below what things you would like to see in the future. What other planeswalkers do you want to have turn into octopus, or what other way would you like me to break the game? Thanks so much, and bye-bye.